good evening. And if you're watching this from your living room, earbuds in while folding laundry or pacing through another sleepless night, I want to start by saying, I see you. I don't know how old you are, but if you're here, there's a good chance you're somewhere in the stretch of life between young enough to still hustle and old enough to feel the aches. You're not alone. In fact, you're right on time. Because whether you're 37, 42, or just blew out 45 candles on your last birthday cake, something's shifted. You've stopped asking, what do I want to be when I grow up? And started asking, is this it? You look around at the life you've built, the job, the mortgage, the partner, the kids, maybe. And instead of feeling accomplished, there's a strange fog creeping in. A quiet voice whispering, why doesn't this feel like enough? Let's talk about that. Let's name it for what it is. It's called midlife. And if you're feeling lost, stuck, or restless right now, you're not broken. You're human. You're evolving. You're hitting that sacred, terrifying, powerful moment where everything goes under review. Now, the term midlife crisis has been thrown around so much that it's become a caricature. A 48-year-old guy trading in his minivan for a motorcycle. A woman dyeing her hair pink and ghosting the PTA. We laugh at these things. But the truth beneath them? It's not funny. It's pain disguised as reinvention. But what if I told you that the crisis isn't the problem? What if I told you it's a signal, a wake-up call, not to destroy your life, but to reclaim it? That's what this talk is about. Let me introduce you to someone. His name is Daniel. Daniel is 44. He's got a decent job in corporate strategy. Married, 2 kids, house in the suburbs. He pays his taxes on time. He hasn't missed a parent-teacher conference in 5 years. And lately, he feels like he's dying. Not physically, not yet. But emotionally, spiritually, something inside him is quietly crumbling. Every day he wakes up, drives the same route, wears the same blazer, answers the same emails. Everyone calls him lucky, solid, responsible, stable. But Daniel doesn't feel stable. He feels like a ghost wearing his own skin. You see, Daniel did everything right. He studied hard, got a job, climbed the ladder, married the right girl, built the life that society promised would make him happy. And yet, he lies awake at night wondering, whose life is this really? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing for the next 25 years? Daniel is not alone. Millions, and I mean millions, of people reach this point. And we call it a crisis, as if something's gone terribly wrong. But I want to challenge that tonight. I want to reframe it. This is not a breakdown. This is a crossroad. Let's dig deeper. Where did this idea of a midlife crisis even come from? The term was coined in 1965 by a psychoanalyst named Elliot Jacques. He noticed a pattern in his patients. Around the age of 40, many people, especially men at the time, began to spiral into self-doubt, impulsive choices, or even depression. He theorized that this crisis stemmed from the sudden confrontation with mortality, the realization that life has a deadline, that you've likely lived more years than you have left, and that realization can be devastating if you believe your best years are already behind you. But it wasn't just Jacques. Psychologists like Carl Jung talked about the afternoon of life, where you stop chasing ego and begin confronting your inner truth. Erik Erikson labeled this phase a struggle between generativity and stagnation, the need to leave a legacy versus the fear of becoming irrelevant. So, yes, there's psychology behind it. But I want to propose something radical tonight. The modern midlife crisis is not just psychological or biological. It is deeply cultural. It is deeply American. We live in a country obsessed with youth, speed, and productivity. We idolize the 20-something CEO. We shame wrinkles. We glorify hustle. We measure worth in quarterly reports, Instagram likes, and abs that don't jiggle when you laugh. And when someone hits their 40s, when they slow down, question the noise, pause to breathe, society doesn't say good for you. Society says you're falling behind. So we panic. We buy things to feel younger. We quit things to feel freer. We run from our past, hoping to find something shiny in the future. But the real crisis is not that we age. It's that we don't know how to honor aging in a culture that worships constant acceleration. Now let me bring this closer to home. Maybe you're not Daniel. Maybe you're Maya, 46, recently divorced, staring at an empty house where your kids once fought over the TV remote. Maybe you're Terry, a 50-year-old woman finally realizing that she spent decades people-pleasing and never once asked herself what she actually wanted. Or maybe you're Chris, 39, child-free, single, successful, but haunted by the question, is this supposed to be enough? Whoever you are, wherever you are on your journey, here's what I want you to know. Your discomfort is not a mistake. Your dissatisfaction is not selfish. And your longing for more? It's not a midlife crisis. It's a midlife calling. A calling to re-examine, reclaim, and redesign the second half of your life with intention. So how do we do that? How do we navigate midlife not as a crisis, but as a powerful invitation? Here's what I've learned. From research, from stories, from lived experience. I'm going to offer you 7 practices that can turn your unraveling into your rebirth. Practice 1. Feel it fully. Don't numb it. The first step? Stop running. So many of us try to outrun the discomfort. We stay busy. We binge Netflix. We scroll until our eyes blur. We drink. We shop. We fix ourselves. But what if the ache you're feeling isn't something to escape, but something to explore? Let the sadness speak. Let the rage rise. Let the boredom sit beside you. These emotions aren't enemies. They are messengers. Underneath them is something sacred, the truth of what your soul is really craving. Give yourself permission to feel what you feel, without labeling it as wrong. Practice 2. Rewrite the timeline. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not failing. You are simply not on a timeline that was built for you. You were raised in a culture that told you there's a checklist. Graduate by 22. Marry by 28. Buy a house by 30. Hit 6 figures by 35. Have it all figured out by 40. But guess what? That timeline was built on someone else's economy, someone else's values, someone else's privilege. Your real life isn't a race. It's a canvas. And midlife is the moment where you stop tracing old lines and start painting your own. Practice 3. Reclaim your body. Midlife is the moment your body starts whispering, then shouting, "Pay attention to me." Your knees protest. Your sleep gets weird. Your eyesight betrays you in dim restaurants. You think, I used to bounce back faster. And you did. But now, your body wants more care. And that's not failure. That's wisdom. Instead of grieving the energy you once had, celebrate the intimacy you now have with your body. Feed it with movement. Let it rest when it needs to. Touch it with kindness. And if you've been taught that your worth is tied to thinness, firmness, or youth, let that belief die, not your joy. Practice 4. Burn the masks. Midlife is the season when the masks get heavy. The mask of good parent. The mask of perfect partner. The mask of the one who has it all together. And the truth is, you're tired. You're tired of pretending, of smiling when you're angry, of saying, I'm fine when you're lost. This is your invitation to take off the mask, to stop performing and start revealing. You don't need to be everything to everyone. You need to be true to yourself. Practice 5. Grieve. What's gone? Midlife is a strange funeral. It's not just about the people you've lost. It's about grieving the selves you used to be. The reckless 20-something who thought she'd conquer the world. The dreamer who once believed marriage would fix everything. The body that could run upstairs without a second thought. The job you didn't get. The version of parenthood that never came. The life that didn't unfold the way you imagined. Let yourself grieve. Grief is not weakness. Grief is love with nowhere to go. And once you allow it to pass through you, there is space for something new to rise. Practice 6. Cultivate inner joy, not outer validation. So much of the first half of life is about proving. We prove we're smart enough, attractive enough, successful enough. But midlife is where you realize no amount of likes can substitute for self-acceptance. You begin asking deeper questions. What brings me joy when no one's watching? Who am I when I'm not chasing applause? What do I value when I stop trying to impress? And if the answers surprise you, good. You're finally telling yourself the truth. Practice 7. Choose legacy over ego. In youth, we chase achievement. In midlife, we begin chasing meaning. This is the shift. From what can I get to what can I give? From how do I win to how do I contribute? Legacy is not about grand monuments. It's about the impact you make in the lives you touch. It's the way you show up for your children, or your community, or the strangers who watch you treat others with kindness. And maybe the most powerful legacy you can leave is to model what it looks like to live a fully human life, with courage, with cracks, and with compassion. Conclusion. The beautiful beginning. I know midlife can feel like an unraveling, but maybe that's exactly what it is. Not a falling apart, but a sacred shedding. Not the end of something, but the chance to begin again, with more honesty, more clarity, more freedom. This is not a crisis. This is your becoming. The second half of your life doesn't have to be a smaller version of the first. It can be deeper, braver, truer. So if you're standing at the edge right now, unsure, afraid, but aware, I want to tell you something. You are not lost. You are just waking up. And the best part? You still have time. Time to dream differently, to love harder, to heal old wounds, to dance, even if your knees creak, to say yes to what lights you up, and no to what dims you down. This is your midlife, not a crisis, but a calling. Will you answer it? Thank you for listening. If this message touched you in any way, don't forget to hit subscribe, leave a like, and share this with someone else who might be quietly struggling. You are not alone. We are walking this middle path together. See you in the next one.